Look at this, Matt.
Oh,
dynamic. Speaking of splits, friendly fire, they're going right in.
Going for a dynamic entry, and they're not going to like that one. Pixels just got the lineup. Raatz going to polish it off. That's going to be dynamic being our first blood of the event.
Yes, fighting is great, but they could even get better position, but we'll see. It's a 3-on-3. Maybe they get it. No, it's going to be Keegan finding the knockout icon. Keegan on 7-up. And just like that, one member left of Old and Young. Super fun, much louder than I remember my Schwinn or Fat Boy, but you know what? I like him nonetheless. Oh,
they just have the trading cards in the tire, right? That's what's going on. That's why they're so loud.
The trading cards. Oh, Pudich to your left.
Oh, what you gonna do? He's kind of caught out. He's got to make a commitment, so he just walks up into the thick of it. Eats a Molotov to the face, but that means the fact that Orion has it too. Elevate's just gonna use this opportunity. They're gonna jump in. Goes for a spin around, and Orion is eliminated in a peculiar firefight.
Right in front of them, that might be a viable cover, but they still have to deal with Elevate as well as RATZ, and then those guys. And the nades coming out from those guys. Speaking of which, Milkill will get 2, and that's going to be a flush as well. It's just down to Ethan trying to survive.
I don't even know if he has any cover. I see vehicles bouncing all over the place. He's just kind of leaned in at the time. This is going to go bad no matter how it goes, but with these shots now coming out, everybody's got their eyes focused on what's going on with Elevate. Shoot to Kill using that opportunity, sneaking up right next to RATZ. So those guys still holding out into this position while that firefight's going on to the south. The res does come out, and this is a lot of bullets, but not hitting what they want to have anything happen just yet. That is probably one of the biggest smokes that we've seen provide so much life and safety. Elevate is not comfy, but not as scary as it was a second ago.
Yep, the fact is that they're alive. All those vehicles at this point have been exploded, so they have some pretty decent hard cover now at this point as well. Remember, they're split on the south side, so the advantage is definitely SNEK's here, as they also are going to tear into Elevate, and that's going to be them going out in 9th place.
It is going to be Luminosity and Luminosity and Soniqs that are going to be bumping into each other right over here. And Rillo's got himself a good angle and nails that shot. Nade's going to come in on the other side, but that's going to be H1 that follows it up. LG now just down to Snakers and Flood, as there is a stack of smokes going on in front of this one. Circle has shifted away from this position, so these teams now know that they need to get this fight over pretty quickly. While this is going to be happening, Shoot to Kill now making a push directly across the wide out in the open, trying to move closer into where RATZ position is going to be at. Soniqs playing this one slow and steadily. Throwables coming out on both sides, but really it looks like Soniqs got the defensive line into this. Now starting to spread out, finding different angles. Molotov's now coming down, got the spray into it, and LG looks like they are just getting demolished by Soniqs. I mean, that's still some good aim coming at you from Shoot to Kill. Into hitting a nice headshot at range, and Adam gonna go ahead and follow in. Multiple members now in trouble on Soniqs' side with Tickleton getting flushed out.
Yeah, they're absolutely harassing Soniqs, not even letting them get up, and just like that.
Love fights across this wall. Shoot to Kill can use that as a covered position to move in as much as they want to. Once they manage to get a foothold into this, now they can move much freer. See how we can see TiltTown on the opposite side. They've got the road that they have to cross. Smokes are coming down, but they're still going to have to venture into a defended position already. As Shoot to Kill realizes, okay, this is how they're going to approach. Let's just go ahead and put Purdy right in the thick of it. Make sure it is hellacious for them to try to move. He's got Pinna back behind him. Nade's going to land. You don't mess with Shoot to Kill when it comes to throwables, and now it is all on to Savage. They come to charge out, and Shoot to Kill with 12 kills gonna take our first round.
Maybe take some shots at Dragon Tiger, as Orion is also taking shots at them from Hospital. So all these teams now rotating, going up for the South SNEK though. As you said, dealing with Devil vibes. He has that P90 devastating weapon. And he's gonna find one hooligan. Can he find a second? And it just melts! It's so disgusting. He's gonna find 2.
P90 is the grossest gun and shames the Groza at this point. This thing is just so freaking strong. It's got style, it's just sexy to hold on, and it shoots like a laser beam. T-Sock finds a sneaky little move around him, gets the down, and now just has to start running in. Reinforcements coming up from TTG though, and there is not too much to be had as T-Sock is getting hit from every single angle. Here comes Glory, right back behind him. T-Sock trying to listen in for footsteps right now. Knows where it's at, goes for the headshot.
What a
right as he
pre-fire.
crosses. Well done. Trained to go though, gonna spot him out at range. It's gonna be TTG that ends up winning against SNEK.
Wish we saw that fight. There we go.
Now just making the full-on push. Friendly Fire trying to defend up. Shark Shot takes a ton of damage. Trying to juke around, move back into that highly defensible section. What's going to be going on? Just 2 members still up, trying to get their meds out. Notice Sharp Shot's on the outside of that one. Going to go for a spray. Does connect into one. Ethan trying to defend the other line of it as well.
Oh, Sharp!
Trying to move through. Sharp coming up in a big way right now. But here comes reinforcements. An entire different team in Soniqs realizing there's an opportunity to be had here. Roth trying to defend up, retreats back into the more defended sections of this compound. But Soniqs feel like they have the capability. Sharp Shot is down. This is a 4-man advantage flooding into this one right now. Soniqs know how they want to make the push. Roth trying to find the angle that is going to be safest to defend from, and he is not going to find it.
Little oopsie. But shoot to kill is fastly approaching, and they're wrapping on this hill, and they're going to be closer and closer. But Red Rider, Orion actually helping Dragon Tiger quite a bit, and they are stuck. STK is stuck in a terrible position right now.
That position coming out from Orion was just the absolute catastrophe for STK. Now I'm going to try to figure out how they're going to make their move. LG opted to go to the north, where Oni has moved into this position, and they have high ground, and they are just making a red zone. A shoot to kill is going to get eliminated. Just look at the time. That is a very large incline to try to hit nades on, and they are just racking them.
Yeah, they are, as well as just racking these beautiful shots. Headshot from Snaker is going to take out Young and Old. Fries goes down.
With LG now playing the low side of what's going to be going on in the northern part of Everest, that means that RATZ moved back up to the top of Everest, and it's just sitting time. Vegas has got goals, comes in, hits one of them. Red Rider, the rest of the team's just trying to defend up. Are we going to see the rest of M762 trying to make a play into this one? Greg Shots going to be following up. No cover, just a destructible shack. Nothing to be had. Does hit the shots on the run. He's at least trying to get whatever point he can. Here comes the next ascend up. Everybody's just hopping in the vehicles, making the approach into this one. It's going to be RATZ. Oz's side trying to defend up. Hello Senpai all by his lonesome, and it's going to be TiltTown getting eliminated, and that was so damn well played coming up from Hello Senpai. LG sitting at 8 kills right now, feeling pretty comfy, and okay. Now starting to creep up. Is Kickstart's pretty focused in on what's going to be happening in the low ground. They might have thought they have control, but Miguel already been spotted out. Now going for the spray into this one. Does drop a nade on top of Rello. That is going to be big. Those guys have their opportunity. How are they going to want to make the push into this one? Look in, has a pretty good idea on where Kickstart's going to be playing. Preps up the other nade. The other teammates still playing on the edge. No aggressive push coming out just quite yet, as this is respect for LG and how they're going to be playing this one. Those throwables are coming out, not really connecting though.
I do like how active No-Kill is trying to be, though. He's trying to get different looks, give them different positions. Obviously, they know that he's on that rock, but they were able to get the res. I feel like that's a little bit of a misstep, focusing too much on Kickstart and trying to getting those nades up there instead of trying to go for the flush, but still very much winnable for those guys. This is a 3-on-3, and the position advantage is now with them. They have circle going for the spray with kick. He's going to find Nil-Kill. All of a sudden, this puts the fight in the advantage of LG, but wait, those guys don't flags find another knock.
Oh, that is I don't think that we're going to win this shot to try to pick up the last kill point that they can. Lemon Squeezy trying to make this as easy as he can and hoping the back that's not going to end up as orange juice, but it does look like he's got some ketchup on top of him, as it is going to be Luminosity with 11 kills.
So I like the way that Friendly Fire is also setting up so far. This is going to be a decent little split for them.
Bridge kids are
we
dead.
do have SCK fighting under and over a bridge. Actually, 2 separate fights around these bridges.
Yeah, I like this, playing the lower section of it. Third Eye bringing in some IQ on this one, picking up some kill points. Glory being the opposing side of that, the big plays that come out of TTG, but only Young Fry is going to spot him out. That's going to be an easy one.
And Only Young actually doing a really great job of running circles around the crashing team of trying to go, and so this is going to be Battle versus Toast. He's healing him. He's got to hear him around his building, right? And that's the other thing. These buildings are so unique. These are different layouts to what we're normally used to, especially with a lot of these walls, cracks. Ooh. Nice nade. Toast is going to be found, and yeah, this is exciting. Seeing a new map and competitive, especially a map that I actually really enjoy playing. This is awesome.
You're going to end up close to Friendly Fire, who's got some sights set, but Kickstart gonna have some help from Flood. Boonage is gonna go down. Elevate. You got a lot of friends around you right now. You've got Friendly Fire on one angle, SNEK on the other one, TiltTown just kind of running through. Friendly Fire gonna try and take the shots into Joshi. Narrowly survives. No! Is gonna go down to Pixel.
Pixel, absolutely disgusting. It's actually really cool to see him and Paige as well over here competing in the Americas, but Friendly Fire doing a great job stacking up 4 kills and putting up quite a bit of control in the central area here. So we now move to those guys fighting with the last couple members of Dynamic.
Gonna feel pretty good about their position, as well as Old and Young still have their friends that they've been dealing with in TTG for quite a while now. This fight just going to continue to roll. Looks like they are finally getting the dominant position inside of it. I'm going to go ahead and flesh them out with TTG now just having 1 member up, and they know exactly where he is, but 3v1, pushing a compound that you're not the most familiar with can be dangerous.
But a blue zone? I couldn't tell if it was a blue zone or a regular nade. It was going to be a smoke. They're going to get a clean wipe.
The best way I can describe it is it feels like a Miramar game happening across this hillside right now.
Yeah, I think this map, again, does a really good job of mixing elements of both ERANGEL and Miramar while also adding its own unique flavor. Shots coming out from Red Rider. Trying to get the knock on Fries. Is not going to get it, but look at this. Fries now returning fire, getting a nice bit of damage onto the Babbler.
Nades now coming out. We'll have to see how Old and Young wants to handle this one. Icon does connect into one. Fry's going to connect onto another one, but Fluxy gets the knockback onto Icon. 7-up DD trying to figure out exactly the best way to handle this one. Blue zone's coming in. I like this. Trying to move into the gatekeeping position, force them to come into you. They're going to go down with some assistance at range. But also, while this is all happening, Third Eye is getting demolished by Soniqs. And now Shoot to Kill and Friendly Fire both having to move.
And RATZ are embroiled in a fight right now with the Dragon Tiger Beryl Showdowns. Meanwhile, LG just doing work against what it takes. Fights popping up pretty much all over the map now as the circle is shifted to the south. And
just got to make
SNEK,
something happen at this stage. SNEK trying to defend up. You can see Blue Zone nades now popping off down in the lower right. Hooligan just trying to survive. Does have a read on what's coming back behind it, but it's not going to be able to get the spin fast enough. SNEK now just having to defend this one. It's going to be Keegan on one line, trying to navigate as more friends are coming down and want to get involved. Those guys now on one side of this one and now have to juke out. He's going to jump out right in front of the Ghost for the spray. He's going to go down. Wit's going to pick him up. And while this is happening, LG looks like they're going to be wrapping in back behind Wit. They're trying to backstab as well.
Absolute chaos here on the northwest. LG, though, as you said, just hunting, knows that this fight is going on. Blue zone grenades coming out for zoning. But LG is just licking their lips. They know all they have to do is now gatekeep this fight. Kills are going to be coming in their favor, at least 6 if they can get all of these. But it looks like Lucid is trying to push the pace to at least get a few kills for themselves, especially if they're about to go down. So many smokes, Matt.
Trying to navigate this, and those guys on that outer wall right now. Trying to get a read for what's going to be going on Blue Zone. Kind of a scary thing to see as they're coming around, but you have to take it as slow as you can. 2 different Blue Zones now mixing out, going to make this even more complicated. I like the position coming out from those guys, setting up a crossfire. They're going to pick that one up quick. Now they have to be careful, though, because LG looks like they're going to be moving into a gatekeeping point right up on top of them. So as they crest that hillside, they've got to fight their way out of this one, and you know they want some vengeance for last game.
Yep, and again, it's those guys versus LG. As you said, the last 2 teams, that grenade can be huge! Flood will find 2, and it's now Nikhil and Peak Sword just left on the edge. And now just Nikhil. What an absolutely beautiful nade from LG.
You gotta learn to never group in competitive, and that's gonna be one of those lessons you learn real quick. RATZ now not living up to their name, trying to step back down into the dragon, showing who might be the stronger animal against this one. But while this is going on, Finna is gonna go down. RATZ gotta try to figure out a good pathing around this. This is its own isolated fight, as Soniqs are kind of looking into what's going to be going on with Shoot to Kill and Friendly Fire, but you can see RATZ not in a rush with this. Instead, trying to do their shopping, trying to get situated. Those guys are going to get eliminated by LG, as I think also we're going to see, it's going to just be LG getting control of the north.
Yep, and honestly, again, Soniqs did the same thing as LG. They saw that fight going down between Friendly Fire and SDK. They saw the knocks, and now they are spreading out and trying to take control. 6 kills on the side of the Soniqs as they now push towards the north to try to take out Friendly Fire. If they can do that quick enough, they can even turn around and maybe spin it onto the fight happening between M762 and RATZ. But look at this. Soniqs just so much pressure moving forward.
They are funneling Friendly Fire up to the north, and guess what? That's going to be exactly where LG is going to be at. Pretty Curdy just trying to retreat from position, realizing how he's in the thick of everything. So shot's going to be coming out from Shark Shot, get the knock onto Shrimzy, but it doesn't really matter. While Shrimzy is going to get flushed, Soniqs have their defensive line set up the way that they want to have it. Circle is going to pop, and now LG has to decide how hard do we want to push what's going to be going on as the fight is still continuing between Dragon Tiger, Beryl, Showdown, and RATZ.
And stay alive, but Soniqs again still pushing that pace. I'm just looking for when LG is going to choose to pounce.
It's just, they're playing this so cautiously right now. Mine has spotted them out and taken a couple of shots into them. SDK's pretty curdy also has now realized where RATZ are, and that's going to reveal his position. He's going to go ahead and go down. More and more nades going to be tossed down from Soniqs and see if they can connect. It looks like they're getting closer and closer, but not going to be able to do enough. While this is going on, remember, Friendly Fire still has to move. And, like, there's no good angle to get out of that, RATZ.
But look how sick this map is, Matt. We have so many different fights happening on so many different points of this one hilltop. This is just a sample size. As the Spoon is going to take a shot, no, he won't find it. And Curdy is still going to stay alive. He's going to find another team, and that's going to be a second wipe for STK as they stay alive with Purdy.
Now, it's going to be about the blue zone coming in, forcing it.
The smoke launchers. Sorry.
Gotta creep forward into this one. You can see it. A lot of the eyes have been turning back into M762, but it does look like the exchange is starting to come out between Soniqs. They've just kind of gotten too close to that firing line from LG. Backs up against the blue. They don't have a lot of options. It's going to be Dragon Tiger Beryl starting to make the moves in, trying to use the hillside. Quick exchange between the two of them. Now retreating back and away from it. Grenades now starting to come out to see if they can try to slow down anything that's going to be moving. Looks like Soniqs now making the commitment down into LG's position. It's going to be Mime that gets its knock into this one to start off, but Flood gets one as well. That's two members now down for Soniqs, trying to cling on to it, but the damage has been done back into LG's position. It is just going to be Snakers and Rello up. Here comes the Dragon Tiger Beryl Showdown, looking for a showdown with LG, but that nade was huge! Massive knock coming out. Cowboy trying to make the push in, does get the knock, trying to eye it out, dancing around the tree, knows exactly where the last member is. Can he get the damage? No, he cannot. Snakers is still up, looking into this as Greg Shot knows exactly where he's at. Let's be real, this is going to be a hard fight to win as Dragon Tiger Beryl Showdown walks away with 7 kills on the victory. Soniqs usually known for making a very fast rotation out of Picado. I guess the more northern line for the plane did slow them down a bit.
Yeah, and I think they're just probably going to come in around now. They're going to start rotating in, but fortunately, no one really around them. They should be able to rotate in just fine. Speaking of rotations, though, finally Dynamic is going to find their first point. Maybe Delta is so low, Matt.
Oh no, not like this. Yes, 2 members now down for Dynamic, and it's not feeling too good. Those guys on opposite sides of flank now coming in from those guys as well. Ice Tech, Lamborghini, not feeling too good. Looks like Lister's just going to go ahead and bleed out as a couple of long-range tosses is going to come out from those guys. Nothing to be too scared of just quite yet. Ice Tech, though, can make a sneaky play off of it and does get the knock. Going for a kill point, at least they've already managed to pick up one, pick up their second one, and already feeling better.
Old and Young to knock onto those guys, one of those members down, and now they're trying to take control as well here on the northwest.
Old and Young?
SDK right above them, Matt.
Yeah, Old and Young just really need a very solid game, and they can climb this leaderboard quite efficiently. We keep seeing small moments where they keep getting really close, but coming in, deciding that they're going to go after those guys. Folks going to be up. Do they read where it's going to be at? And yep, those guys are eliminated. Nade's at least going to hit some damage onto Lamborghini to get this started. Looks like Ice Tech has decided he's just got to go and try to make a play because he's got Wit back behind him. And oh no, yet again, everybody's got their eyes on Dynamic. What
it takes, and now Young's toast is like, all right, I see what happens here. As we move over to Honey Badger taking shots, Friendly Fire decided they did not want to be quite in that position. They were getting held out and shot by STK. They're trying to drive in.
I do like the awareness coming out from TiltTown going, hey, you know, this isn't going to be an easy rotate, so maybe we can just get some kill points out of it or something. That's kind of a couple of team strategy. As you can see, it's going to be Oni now having to deal with Wit, who's rolled up right back behind them. Using this and using the information is going to be another team. It looks like STK might be separating out and thinking about coming this direction. Yes, making the foot push right back behind everything that's going to be going on. As Babbler does take down Toast, but 2 members still alive for what it takes. And do they have what it takes to survive as they are being shot at from so many angles?
So far, they're doing a hell of a job of just trying to survive and getting the points where they can. Meanwhile, STK is still pushing in from that northwest.
Make sure that you keep a differential between the two as STK is kind of watching what's going to be going on. Third Eye trying to make the push in, get away from this field and get some type of cover. Looks like, yeah, they're going to go ahead and crash right along that line as it's going to be shoot to kill, continuing to throw out what they can. Trying to go is going to finally get eliminated, but Curdy nades. You know they're going to start trying to put some more into this one, as it is going to be what it takes getting eliminated. But Third Eye took a lot of casualties, as there we go. Push now coming out as RATZ were trying to make some type of move, but they couldn't find anything, as it is going to be M762 that holds them down. This is a good potential trap set for whoever's going to win. Balefrost's going to go down.
This is a maximum point situation where they're just probably going to try to third party and get as many points as possible as they go into this.
And it also managed to get them separated away from what's going to be going on with M762 as well as LG.
Yep.
And double wins coming out now as here come the nades. Shoot to kill. This is supposed to be what you're known for, is LG trying to get something out of what's going to be going on with Third Eye. They've got the open angle into it, but Shoot to Kill still has a firing line and are trying to punish them, not let them pick up those kills, because Shoot to Kill, they sure as hell want them. They can play that has some cover to it. It's not comfy cozy, but it's at least something to work with. While this is going on, there's just going to be exchange of shots. Elevate starting to get a bit more active in what's going to be going on with Shoot to Kill. Luminosity also now seeing what's happening with Soniqs, taking some hot shots into them. Really, it's just Dragon Tiger Beryl Showdown sitting here kind of chilling. They do have one of their members go down, does get flushed out by the Molotov, but so much of the action has been going on around them. LG finally decides that it's time to get rid of the thorn that's right in the middle of the circle.
And SNEK still alive on that west side. Soniqs knows this. They know they can't completely ignore that, as Elevate also just waiting in the north.
Soniqs feeling like this may be their opportunity, creeping in. Molotov now going to land. Fourth Rebel's coming out. Kickstart doing a little bit of a dosey-do through the vehicles, but he's gonna go down. Good shot's gonna be coming out from Mon. All this happening, looks like Shoot to Kill's trying to make the push into what's gonna be going on with Elevate. At least getting a knock into him. Haven't opted into leaving just yet, and LG.
Goodness.
Woo! Good game for them. This is finally being more of the Elevate that we were kind of seeing in scrims, and the expectations coming out. Now moving into that top half of the leaderboard, and the potential for even more. Tied up with Third Eye right now, but whoa, quick exchange coming out. And that's going to be Purdy popping off whenever he needs to. Elevate trying to reciprocate that, trying to get back into that angle. Throwable's going to come out. Purdy rides the line right up against the wall, dodges it out, does go down, but Elevate takes some casualties in it. While this is happening, though, the Soniqs are too far away. They can't exploit it.
Oh, but they can. They're at least at the they're going to start putting up that pressure. They've lost that member. They get the res, but now this is the bad thing about that fight for Elevate. Soniqs have gotten that position. They've taken center circle, and they now have going to put so much pressure onto Elevate.
And they get there in enough time to try to do what the sneaky play that they're trying to get out. H1 now starting to creep up into this.
Just be very careful.
Well, there is a vehicle moving at range, and Stiggleton's going to hop into that. It might be enough of a distraction. Looks like H1's thought he has the moment. Goes for spray, does connect. Poonage is going to go down. Gats immediately follows it. And Elevate, who's been comfy cozy over here for quite a while now, having to deal with Soniqs, who are on an absolute massacre. They've decided that this map is theirs, and there is nothing to be had. Finally, Shinboy gets a knock into him, but the double up still going to be coming from H1 and Tig. They've got themselves a line, and they don't even want to give the kill back over. They're like, nah, we're going to get mine back up, and then we're going to see what we can do. Defensive line still coming up from Tiggleton. They managed to get it, and Soniqs manages to do a massive game and try to catch up to LG. So that's why we're starting to see the commitment coming out. Oni's trying to regroup while TiltTown's making the full-on send into position. Ghost is going to come up, provide some reinforcements for Icon. Now TiltTown did manage to make landfall with 3 of their members. Savage doing the defense of the stairwell. Going for a peek around, takes a face full of lead. Has to step away from it. Now starting to throw out the utility, see maybe he can connect. Clemson's going to go down. 7up does a good job with that one. Tries to step around the angle, but is going to get dropped. Old and Young doing a great job on trying to defend that until the choke point comes a thing, and suddenly TiltTown starts to find some success with this. What are we going to be able to see? Have to step away. Joshi only coming in that has any type of health, as TiltTown wants to try to reset in some fashion.
This is now at 2-on-1. What a crazy fight, but this is also such a strong position for these guys to be fighting over. That flash should be able to buy some time for Maroonin to potentially just get that res, but there's a recovery going on as well. Icon just try to dance around all the different grenades. He's gonna find a knock. It's now down to a 1-on-1. Does he go for the res?
Josh, I'm gonna take 1 second here. Looks like we do have Dragon Tiger Beryl at range.
Burned out, not like this.
Anticlimactic.
Even just Third Eye, right, in that gas station, holding out currently Dynamic, taking shots at them, they're getting knocks. And what a shot from Kickstart to open up that onto the Spoon.
Finna lined up very much on top of this one. Is he going to try to make a sneaky play? Goes for the spray into
Oh, the
Beryl. Flood goes down, though. His kickstart is going to run him over. That is going to be I guess, a technical knock coming up from Finna as the rest of LG trying to figure out what they're going to do. RATZ.
This fight is starting to fall apart for RATZ. The trap that they had set for LG is backfired as now they're stuck in this shack. Nate's coming in. That's going to be beautiful. Snaker's going to find two. It's just down to Grant Landis to face down the entire fury of LG.
And he has a grand total of 2 HP spraying underneath of the vehicle to take him out. LG has managed to take on the first hurdle to get into the circle. But worry not, there are plenty more that are going to be coming right next to this one. We still have Dragon, Tiger, Beryl, Showdown caught up in the thick of it with TiltTown. But guess what? Soniqs also wants to get involved in what's going to be going on. Dynamic did make a send into a very centered position, but High-Tech's going to go down, leaving just one member in Camborghini. Multiple members of Orion still up, but this distraction is allowing Third Eye to make a send along this pathing as Orion's at least just trying to get some shoe bullets going at him, just trying to get them to go some other direction. A stack of teams now all deciding the fact that they need to come in this one, but Third Eye is just getting demolished on this approach.
Yeah, this is the play to make, though. They saw the other teams fighting, so they knew they had to come in and at least try to take this position, but it was still just such a mess for them to actually get something going. And what it takes, the team that was previously here did actually consolidate back to the west, which is a wonderful play to avoid all of this.
I gotta give respect to Orion. This was well done in defense.
Yeah.
They've been harassed on a lot of different angles. Balefrost is kind of way out there, and he's just going to go ahead and get taken out as well.
The south is just an absolute cluster right now.
LG starting to creep in along this line. Keep in mind, they are presently ahead, but not by a ton. Just 6 points. We've been talking a lot about top 8 because that's what goes on. That's what's going to move into the next stage to then challenge against Latin America. But let's be honest. We know that LG and Soniqs are both aiming for that #1 spot coming out of this one, and those guys, Bixor finds himself a Keenan. Go ahead and take down Keegan.
He's gonna find at least one. That's gonna really suck for SNEK, though, as Tater's also gonna get shot down. It's just down to Hooligan. Might be able to get that res, but SNEK finds themselves in a really bad position here on the southwest side of the circle.
Not quite done with their defense yet. It's going to be Soniqs trying to make the move in, seeing if maybe he can bounce the nade around. No push coming out from that angle just quite yet, but gave Orion time to get the res, get back into position. Tickleton just braving right in opposite side of that wall is going to be Flexi. Look at this also. H1 just kind of dashing across through the smokes right on the opposite side of that fire, so Flexi did not have vision on that cross.
Oh, not at all. I don't even know if they know if Flexi is there currently right now. Red Rider now trying to get an angle on the window. He is going to spot out Tig, so that information is going to be relayed out to Flexi. Shoot to kill, meanwhile, is eliminated in the background, but Hwin is going to find him. The 2-on-2, Hwin and Tig. Can they actually get rid of the rest of Orion?
Oh, and an opportunity now arises. LG has been eliminated. Soniqs have managed to fight their way in onto this point. They still have 2 heavy hitters alive for their squad. Red Rider still on a bit of damage control, cannot get into a position to res his teammate. So now H1 playing this one more aggressive, realizing that they've got the numbers. Molotov is going to slow him down, but H1, good timing on that. This is just going to be a double up, lined up against each other. Good spray. H1's going to connect. Orion goes out, and the lead is diminishing for LG by the second.
And Soniqs able to at least get in that position with 2 is a huge boon for them, considering what their rotation was like and where they came from. So that's going to be massive. Friendly Fire as well has moved into the center of this circle with Elevate still on that eastern edge. And now this fight on the west, what it takes originally in that 2-2 splits, making sure to consolidate is now Battle is trying to get the knock here and bring around the Rosie. Retaliative will find the knock.
Well played coming out from what it takes, showing us what it does take to make that play. Now, and they come back around before the res. I'll tell you what, good spray, Retaliative, just destroying DTG there. Lined in, just spraying continually. He's got plenty of ammo to work around. Robo's coming out, gonna go a bit too far, but you know, hey, cover's still gonna go away as cars are gonna explode, do a couple of flips, you know, do a barrel roll kind of situation. Now, the push is gonna come out from Tickleton.
I was gonna say, but they're so focused on Tig that Hwin on the other side of this road is gonna go for his push now, and he could easily get this as Ethan has no idea he's over the hill, but Paige from distance is actually going to find Ethan, and that's going to be Elevate out.
And might be a cover point to play from. I mean, that's about all you got, so it looks like they're going to sit down in the car, and Retaliative! Oh my god, he is on fire this game.
What an absolutely beautiful shot to put down Remember, a friendly fire there. Page is still going to find the double, though. It was sneak attack and Roggy trying to get a forward position based off that knock on Sharp, but Page was just so on point with that grenade. He completely stopped that, and now SNEK's Hooligan is trying to steal those points. In fact, he does. He gets one.
Friendly fire still just kind of clinging to life, but it's going to be Rogi who sneaks up into a good spot, gets the knock on a Page. He's been doing a massive amount of damage. What it takes, still trying to find a way to make this one work, but it is going to be one of their members going down. He's going to get spotted out. It's going to be SNEK that does see them, and it is just a quick crossfire time and time again as opportunities are there, but nobody can manage to push these last few feet into where friendly fire is holding down.
Would have almost liked to see what it takes, maybe throw more smokes in that area, just to kind of deny that vision, but it's going to be Sharp with the M249 taking down both Rogiwire and Lucid. And this game is definitely not over yet. Yes, the center dot does favor friendly fire, but there could be some heroic solo plays or even duo plays here that would cause friendly fire to unravel and potentially lose to the solo and duo here. But again, with their hard cover, it's just hard to imagine that happening. They've been defending this for so long. They've been in this position for so long, for at least 4 circles, Matt, yet they still held it, got their kills, and survived. Oh, no! Ooh, no!
Every bit of damage matters, because as you were talking about, friendly fire has been here for so long. They've been knocked multiple times. You know that their med situation, their armor can't be sitting the best. So, with the lineup and the angles that we've kind of seen come out from SNEK and TiltTown, they can do some damage into it. TiltTown is going to go down. A sharp shot's going to spot him out.
Oh, that
the nade
huge.
is going to connect from the grave. Friendly fire has to figure out what they're going to do about SNEK. Now blinded. What is we going to see coming out from this? SNEK's just trying to creep forward. What angle are they going to choose to try to approach on? They've got a tree for cover, but Hooligan takes a massive amount of damage. Tater needs to try to make something happen on this other side, trying to get at least some utility out, see if maybe they can blind, get something, but no, it's going to be a blind coming out on the opposite side as friendly fire. Not going to let that one go. 2-2. Now set up Godspeed.
Pretty sure there was a smoke launcher at least available on Tater before he went down. That would have been huge if he could have just smoked them off, create some sort of play there for Hooligan, but now it's just going to be Hooligan into 2v1, getting flashed. The wrap is coming around and friendly fire. We talked about him before that game. We said on paper they had the capability to absolutely make an impact, and so far in this game they have.
Dynamic doesn't have any support that they can really bring over either. I mean, they can crest up the hill. The rest of them are kind of in that area right next to San Martin. So going to go for the spray. Does get the knock onto one, but not going to get the second.
Yeah, there's actually so many teams bunched up on the north edge of the circle. On top of all the teams that you were talking about not even being in, but here comes Soniqs. And oh my goodness, they get picked out of the sky. Shrimsy and Mime are done and dusted, and that is the risk that you take when you take this emergency drop. A lot of people were wondering how good it was going to be if you could just drop in another team. But remember, when teams are kitted and they have these, ARs or even really nice kitted DMRs, dropping down at a slower speed is almost asking to get knocked, but I do really love the effort and appreciate what Soniqs was trying to go for there.
I appreciate Tig up on the top of this one and H-Win down in the dumpster. So that way Tig is kind of in a safety position right now, right? He can make something kind of work, just kind of surviving. He's not going to be easy to kill except for other teams maybe trying to come after him, and I think that's might be what he's afraid of is Elevate doesn't even really want to step out. It's just going to be Poonage, but he does spot out H1, who drops back down into cover in what is probably going to be our most awkward fight of the day.
Probably, and Elevate is just trying to stay alive at this point, as is Soniqs. They're just getting shot as well from distance by Dragon Tiger, if I'm not mistaken. So this is just a mess, a big old mess. But as we've seen, Soniqs is very good at taking control of the chaos. As we see Tig going in for the shots, Win's gonna find one. The trade is there, and Elevate will stay alive. And they should be able to get these reses off as well.
I do love the idea of trying to land on top of these big buildings. That's something we've seen them try to do a couple times.
100%.
Old and Young decided the fact that, hey, you know what? We're going to try to use this opportunity that was presented to us. Poonage already down and out. And now it's going to be Shinboy going down as well. So with this, Toe's going to go ahead and go. Now it's going to be on to Icon to try to lead some type of pathing. Elevate's going to try to reset a bit here. But Shinboy kind of on his own isolated position. Looks like Ethan does manage to get his meds up. Rez should come out, and I'm kind of surprised that Oni went for a reset as well. I guess they've got the numbers advantage, but it felt like they had the momentum in that fight.
It did indeed, and they've actually allowed Elevate to recover, which I think is a mistake, simply because now they would... I mean, yes, Elevate is the one that have to push across, right? Their building is on the edge, but for the time being, that would have been an opportunity to maybe push and wipe, and we'll see if that comes back to bite them.
Well, as the new circle does pop and it has like some of Hacienda, like a bit of graveyard inside of it, we're coming back over with TTG, who's now found themselves with Dynamic right next to him. No surprise, and Wit. Just to the south of this is going to be TiltTown, and TTG is going to try to survive, but they're going to get taken down in 14th place.
Dynamic have been having a much better game for themselves, at least. Matt, 3 kills, 3 members alive, potentially going for another kill right here if they can get rid of what it takes. That would be a really nice little confidence booster for them, as they also might have a little bit of a reprieve to take cover, and that's going to be it. What it takes is eliminated.
Right on the edge of the zone. Not the best place, but, I mean, you've got to take what you can get, right?
Especially with that shift. I think that, not necessarily sure, but I think that shift might have even helped them out a little bit with that road ridge. Yeah, so they are going to have at least a little bit of a ridge to play. They do have to worry about those guys, though, to their west.
Oh, those guys, always involved in everything. Circle is going to pop. Elevates. Ethan gets a great spray to Oni as they're trying to make the push across. I don't know. Ethan's taking a face full of damage, but he still manages to get a reset time into this. Shoot to Kill doesn't have the cleanest sight lines in, so now it's going to be Ethan yet again trying to go for the play. Hits good damage, but no! It is going to be Old and Young that managed to survive and should be able to get their res.
All these fantastic options. I mean, why doesn't LG just run straight in? Yeah, they are, oh, look at this, Snakes!
Ooh.
Snakes are down!
I mean, what else are you going to do? That's not on SNEK. You just, you got to do what you can do. Is Dragon Tiger Beryl a Showdown? They just kind of get a watch all over this.
They're kind of just hanging out in the middle. They've even gotten themselves a couple kills, and they're safe. They're safe from all the chaos, at least for the time being, as all these teams try to rotate it. And what a nade! Pixel still finds the kill and is doing so much work. That's going to be a flash. 8 kills on the side of Friendly Fire, 7 of which coming from Pixel 1K.
Pixel ain't a 1K. He's a 7K right now with the eyes on trying to get an 8. LG, okay, yep, there's just not a lot that you can do, as it's going to be M762 lining in. Friendly Fire is going to spot out what's going on with Third Eye. They're going to get taken out.
Have done an amazing job in the latter half of today to make sure that they've done that for themselves. Pixel 1K, heroic performance, but Halo is going to find those guys peak soar as they are trying to harass not only the Friendly Fire boys, but as well as the Dragon Tiger Beryl Showdowns. Flax now as well. I mean, they also have angles on STK. This is pretty huge. This is really smart stuff from those guys.
I love the fact that they left one of their members back behind so that way they can have the crossfire open. STK now coming and throwing all of the utility. We know that they can line it up into it, but it's going to be Penta going down. Adam quickly bowling up. Cowboy Vegas, the last one up, trying to get Vengeance back onto the team, cresting down into his front round. Seeing if maybe he can get them down. Good pick around. Going to pick up another one. Those guys, though, see everything that's going to be happening on this one. See the kill feed going absolutely wild. It's going to be Vegas just trying to clean the life as Shoot to Kill goes down. Those guys run out. They know where Vegas is. Utility coming out, but they cannot spot him. 7 kills for those guys. Can they pick up a round win? They're at least going to be able to pick up some kills. Pixor trying to see something. Vegas finally coming alive, getting the down onto one of them, but it is a 2v1. He's got the blue zone that's right back behind him at half health. This is going to be very, very hairy. Now just trying to creep up. Throwables coming out. Can he get a read down to 6 life? Those guys want the victory. They want to make a name. They spot him out, and those guys take the victory.